Hello everyone, back with me again, Joseph, and welcome back to Catechism for Kids. It's so wonderful to have you with us today. Have you ever heard someone say, peace out, or I just want some peace and quiet? Peace is something everyone wants, but what does it really mean? And how can we, as followers of Jesus, become peacemakers? Well, that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Jesus himself told us something very special about peacemakers. In the Gospel of Matthew, he said, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God." Wow. Being called a child of God is the greatest honor imaginable. But what does it mean to be a peacemaker? Does it just mean stopping fights? Not quite. It's so much more. Being a peacemaker means bringing kindness, forgiveness, and love wherever we go. It's about reflecting the heart of Jesus, who is the greatest peacemaker of all time. So, get ready to discover how you can be a little light of peace in your world, just like Jesus. When we look at Jesus' life, we see the perfect example of a peacemaker. When people were angry with him, what did he do? He forgave them. When his friends were afraid during a storm, he comforted them and calmed the sea. When the world seemed dark and full of sadness, he brought hope and light. Jesus didn't just talk about peace, he was peace. He once told his disciples, "Peace I leave with you, a peace I give to you." This wasn't just any kind of peace, like the quiet you get when your brother or sister is finally asleep. This was a deep, lasting peace that comes from knowing you are loved by God. So, a peacemaker is someone who helps others feel that same calm and love that Jesus gives. It's about treating everyone with kindness and respect, even when it's hard. And the best part is, Jesus promises that when we do this, we are truly living as children of God. So how can we start being peacemakers in our own lives? Well, peace doesn't start in big governance or far-off countries. It starts right here, in our own hearts and in our own homes. Let's think about being a peacemaker at home. First, let's talk about our words. Have you ever gotten really angry with a sibling or a parent? It happens. But in that moment, we have a choice. Instead of yelling or saying something mean that we might regret later, a peacemaker tries to use a calm voice. Before you speak, ask yourself this simple question. Will what I'm about to say build this person up or tear them down? Kind words are like building blocks for peace. Another huge way to be a peacemaker at home is to share. Sharing your toys or taking turns with the video game controller shows that you care more about your relationships with your family than always getting your own way. It says, "You are more important to me than this toy." One of the most powerful tools a peacemaker has is forgiveness. Think about it. Has a family member ever hurt your feelings or made you sad? Of course, we all make mistakes. When that happens, it's so important to be a good forgiver. Remember how much Jesus forgives us every single time we do something wrong? When we forgive others, we are acting just like him. And it's also important to be able to say, "I'm sorry," when we're the ones who made the mistake. Saying "I'm sorry" and forgiving each other quickly stops little arguments from turning into big sad ones. Forgiveness is like a super strong glue that mends broken friendships and makes our family bonds even stronger. It's the first step to real, lasting peace. Now let's take our peacemaking skills to school. School is a place with lots of different people, which means it's a perfect place to practice being a peacemaker. Have you ever seen friends arguing on the playground? It's easy to just watch, or even worse, to pick a side and make the argument bigger. But a peacemaker does something different. A peacemaker tries to help them talk calmly and find a solution together. You could say something like, "Hey, why don't we try to figure this out? Or maybe we can find a game we all want to play." You don't have to solve their problem for them, but you can help them get along. Another important part of being a peacemaker at school is to be kind to everyone. Look around your classroom or the lunchroom. Is there a new student who looks lost? Or maybe someone who is often sitting alone? A peacemaker pays attention to those who might be lonely. A small act, like inviting them to play or asking them to sit with you at lunch, can bring so much peace and happiness to their day. You could be the person who makes them feel like they belong. Something else to remember at school is that not every argument is worth having. The Bible tells us to walk away from foolish quarrels. Sometimes people just want to argue for the sake of arguing. They might say something silly just to get a reaction. In those moments, the most peaceful thing you can do is to simply and politely walk away. You don't have to have the last word. Choosing not to get caught up in a pointless disagreement is a very strong and wise choice. It shows that you value peace more than you value being right. So at school, remember, help others get along, be kind to everyone, especially the lonely, and know when to walk away from a foolish argument. By doing these things, you are spreading the peace of Jesus all over your school. But where does all this peace come from? How can we be calm and kind when we feel upset or angry on the inside? The most important place to build peace is inside your own heart. When you feel upset, anxious, or worried, the very first thing you can do is pray. Talk to Jesus. You can say, "Jesus, I feel really angry right now. Please give me your peace." Or, "Jesus, I'm worried about the test tomorrow. Please help me feel calm." His peace is a gift. It's not something we have to earn. He wants to give it to us freely. Taking a moment to talk to God can completely change how you feel and help you respond with love instead of anger. Another great trick is to think before you act. When you feel that hot, mad feeling rising up, try to pause and count to 10. Take a few deep breaths or walk to another room for a minute. This little pause gives you a moment to remember what a peacemaker would do. It stops you from saying or doing something you'll regret and gives you a chance to choose peace instead. Ultimately, the best way to become more like a peacemaker is to focus on the Prince of Peace himself, Jesus. The more time you spend with him, the more you will become like him. How can you spend time with Jesus? By reading about him in the Bible, especially the Gospels, and by praying every day. Prayer is just having a conversation with your best friend. The more you get to know Jesus, the more his love, kindness, and peace will fill your heart and naturally flow out to others. It's like standing in the sun. The longer you stay there, the more its warmth soaks into you. The more you focus on Jesus, the more he will help you be a peacemaker in every situation. So, remember to build peace in your heart by praying for it, pausing before you act, and focusing on your friendship with Jesus. And finally, let's not forget the incredible promise Jesus gave us. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God. This isn't just a nice saying. It's a promise from God himself. Every time you choose to use a kind word, every time you share, every time you forgive, every time you include someone who is lonely, you are not only helping others feel good, but you are also living up to your amazing identity as a child of God. You are showing the world what God is like. He is a God of peace, love, and reconciliation. Being a peacemaker is one of the most beautiful ways we can live like Jesus. It's how we share his light in a world that can sometimes feel dark. So let's all make a promise to ourselves and to God that we will try our best, with his help, to be peacemakers at home, at school, and in our own hearts. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Catechism for Kids. I hope you feel inspired and ready to go out, be the amazing peacemakers God created you to be. Remember, it all starts with a single choice to be kind, to forgive, and to love. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about our beautiful faith, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our next adventure together. May the peace of Christ be with you always. Take care, stay safe, and healthy. We'll see you next time.